Hi, everybody. It's Ciara, the teen librarian at Rawlings. It's good to see you again. Today I'm going to be talking to you about a great book that I just read over the past week. It's called Full Disclosure, and it's by Camryn Garrett. So Full Disclosure is about Simone Garcia Hampton. She's a 17-year-old Black teenager who's also HIV positive. Her dads are Javier and Paul, who you don't really find out their names until sort of the middle of the book. They're Dad and Pops. But Dad and Pops lived through the trauma of the AIDS epidemic and lost a lot of friends. They adopted Simone when she was a tiny, tiny little HIV positive baby. And they've given her all the love and support and all the best medical care. It's not easy, as you might imagine, being a Black teenager who is HIV positive. And the book starts, she's just started a new school. And the reason she started a new school is because of the trauma she experienced at her last school when she thought it was safe to disclose her positive status to the teenager who was her best friend and first girlfriend. But that person just went and told everyone, and it was horrible. I'm not a teenager, but I was quite shocked at how ignorant and horrible the reactions that she met with were. And, I had probably naively hoped that things would be different now, but apparently not. However, at her new school, things seem to be going beautifully well. She has made 2 best friends. I'm going to forget their names, but I have them written down here. Claudia, who is sort of hilariously dramatic, fantastic lesbian who has a girlfriend, but Claudia is also asexual. And Lydia, who's a little more grounded, caring, but also very funny, who's also bisexual, and she has a boyfriend. And very early in the book, they all go to the clinic to get her some birth control. Also, each of those young women have interesting parents. But anyway, things seem to be going great. Also, she, much to her surprise and delight, she has been selected to be the director for the school's musical, Rent. Now, Simone knows more about musicals than anyone. She adores them. She's seen all of them. She knows everything about them. And not quite secretly, she has a dream of being a director on Broadway. She doesn't act, she doesn't sing, but she knows them well and she knows how they work. And so she's directing, and it's quite difficult because she has to give these notes and some people get annoyed with her, but still, it's a great experience. So, as is natural, being a 17-year-old girl, Simone is curious about whether or how she can have sex safely. And this curiosity gets even more intense when she finds out that her meds have been working so well that the virus is undetectable. At the same time, she knows that, if she were to have sexual relations with anyone, she would absolutely disclose her positive status before anything happened. So, she talks to her doctors, gets all the information she can get. And so things are going great. She's got these two best friends, and she's directing this musical that she loves. And she also has a gigantic crush on one of the members of the stage crew. His name is Miles. So she's a bit shy, Simone, but her friends are sort of saying, you can't stop talking about this guy. You've got to at least ask him out. I mean, come on. And so they urge her to ask him out. And then there's this hilarious, awkward scene, unbelievably awkward, where she's thinking it over so much. And she's like, but what if he's gay? I need to make sure he's not gay. And so she goes up to him and sort of asks him if he's going to be at the GSA meeting. And he just sort of says, no. Is there a reason why you think? And it's awkward. And then she's like, oh, no. I was just wondering if you were gay. And he was like, oh, no. But, and then she gets really, really flustered and sort of very, very fast asks him out in this awkward way and then runs away as fast as she can, totally humiliated by the entire experience. And what's even funnier is that then a few minutes later, he comes down and finds her, and she's so embarrassed and so overwhelmed with being embarrassed. And he says, you never listened for my answer. And it turns out that he does want to go out with her. So things are looking great. Her huge crush also likes her. But shortly after that, they start going out and hanging out, and she starts to get these anonymous notes, first in her locker, and they all say, stop hanging out with Miles or I will tell everyone you're HIV positive. Now, as they're getting closer, she's obviously nervous. She knows she needs to tell him. And she also tells her friends, but she's terrified of telling anyone because of what happened to her before. And she's terrified of his reaction, that he'll just run away. And at the same time, this person is threatening to just tell everyone. That's all I'm going to tell you about this book. But I have to say, it is utterly delightful. You will fall in love with Celeste. You will fall in love with Miles. You will love her family. Her extended family is fantastic. It's just, the characters are so lovable and you are so on her side, and it's so difficult for her. And you're just wishing people could be better and that they could be informed. And it wasn't her responsibility to educate everyone or deal with the hatred that she's met in the past and this trauma and how difficult it is. All of her life, she's been positive, and it's something she just has to manage. And it's a fantastic book. I'm going to show it to you again, and it's in the library. Well, right now it's checked out to me, but I'm going to return it after this book talk. I highly recommend everyone read it because the romance is fantastic and funny. It's gripping because, there's these threats and you're sort of like, what's going to happen? And she doesn't tell anyone about them. So she's carrying this weight because she's afraid if she tells anyone, they'll make a big deal of it and then it'll all come out. Anyway, fantastic book. Please read it because I loved it. And so that's my book talk. I miss having people, and I miss getting to meet everybody who hangs out at the library normally. And it's super frustrating to just be virtual. But I hope everyone's taking great care of themselves, physically and also mentally. I know this is hard. It's hard for me. I'm far away from my family. And my cats, who are my family, they're with my human family, and I miss them so much. So, stay in touch with your friends. Take care of your minds and your hearts as well as your bodies, okay? I will see you next week, I believe. The library loves you, and we miss you. Okay, bye-bye.